The time is 6:08. The place is Block Middle School, 2700 Cardinal Drive, East Chicago, Indiana, 46312. This meeting is also via live stream on the school's website. This is a meeting of the school board in public for the purpose of conducting the school corporation's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. We can go ahead with roll call.
Trustee Gibson King.
Present.
Trustee Gomez.
Present.
Trustee Smith.
Present.
Trustee Rodriguez.
Present.
Chairman Archiaga.
Present. May we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we will have the parade of flags begin.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for standing. If you would like to remain seated on the floor. However, I would like for our board members, Dr. Bornay, to please come in front of our tables. That would really help us with our presentation. Good evening, board members, Dr. Bournet, family and friends, and School City of East Chicago community. My name is Veronica Ayala. I am the English Learner Specialist for Block Middle School. I am very passionate about meeting the needs of our EL students and pride myself in building strong relationships with students, families, colleagues, and our East Chicago community as a whole. During Hispanic Heritage Month, Black student families, students, and staff joined in the celebration with events such as Loteria Night, Family Movie Night, and for the first time, we were able to offer story time with Hispanic heritage pioneers of change in each of our 7th and 8th grade classrooms. Wasn't that amazing if you were here? Last week, we had our mariachi night with student presentations. What a show that was. We were able to showcase our Hispanic Heritage March as part of the event, and tonight you will see that as well. Voy a decirlo en español, por favor. Buenas noches, miembros de la Junta Directiva, Dr. Bournet, familias, amigos y la comunidad de East Chicago. Mi nombre es Verónica Ayala, soy la especialista de los estudiantes de inglés de la Escuela Black. Mi pasión es apoyar las necesidades de nuestros estudiantes de inglés y me orgullezco en construir relaciones sólidas con los estudiantes, las familias que ven ahí afuera, los colegas míos de la escuela y nuestra comunidad de East Chicago en conjunto. Durante el mes de la herencia hispana, los estudiantes, las familias y el personal de la escuela Black se unieron a celebrar con eventos como Noche de Lotería, Noche de Cine Familiar, y por primera vez pudimos ofrecer hora de cuentos con los pioneros de cambio de la herencia hispana. La semana pasada tuvimos nuestra Noche de Mariachi con presentaciones estudiantiles. ¡Qué espectáculo fue! También pudimos exhibir nuestra marcha de las banderas de Mes de la Herencia Hispana como en ese evento y que ahora van a poder verlo. So, let's go ahead and help me welcome los dos estudiantes al lado para introducir la marcha de la Herencia Hispana Heritage March. Please help me welcome our students. Both students continue to demonstrate leadership qualities as they grow where they are planted, our future pioneers of change in the making. Ayúdenos a darle la bienvenida a los dos estudiantes que van a presentar la marcha de la herencia hispana. Ambos estudiantes continúan demostrando cualidades de liderazgo a medida que crecen donde están plantados. Nuestros futuros pioneros, en cambio, aquí están. Gracias.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Bournet, friends, family, and the SEEC community. As we reflect on the achievements and struggles of those who came before us, we honor the pioneers of change who continue to inspire us today. By embracing their legacy, we reinforce the values of unity, family, and community that are at the heart of Hispanic culture. Let's take this moment to celebrate the countries we come from and honor our families. Even though we may be far from home, we carry our cultures in our hearts and continue to share it in our new home.
Buenas noches, miembros de la Junta, Dr. Bournet, amigos, familias y comunidad de East Chicago. A reflexionar sobre los logros y las luchas de quienes nos precedieron, honremos a los pioneros del cambio que continúan inspirándonos hoy. Al abrazar su legado, reforzamos los valores de unidad, familia y comunidad que están en el corazón de la cultura hispana. Todos tomemos estos momentos para celebrar los países de los que venimos y honrar a nuestras familias. Aunque estemos lejos de casa, llevemos nuestra cultura en el corazón y continuamos compartiéndola en nuestro nuevo hogar.
Good evening. Thank you. I first want to thank all the students and parents that are coming out again to do this flag parade. This is something that we did during Hispanic Heritage Month to celebrate the diversity of our students, community, and Hispanic Heritage Month. So we're going to go ahead and start with the flag parade, starting with the USA. That flag's already up there. Argentina. Bolivia. Chile. Colombia. Costa Rica. The Dominican Republic. Ecuador. El Salvador. Honduras. Mexico. Panama. Puerto Rico. Spain. And Venezuela. Thank you again, students and family, for participating, and thank you to the board for allowing us to perform our Hispanic Heritage Flag Parade here tonight. Yes, please get some pictures. Thank you again, families, and I'll be back.
The School City of East Chicago is committed to developing a community of lifelong learners who are empowered to access, process, evaluate, and ethically apply information in an ever-changing global society. Next on our agenda, we have our administrators' reports, and we will begin with Dr. Bournet.
Good evening, School Board Trustees and School City of East Chicago community. This is my report for October 22, 2024. In response to feedback from our parents and Cardinal community, and part of strategic goal number 5, To increase community and civic engagement, we are using this evening translation devices for our families. I will remind our board members and speakers to watch Ms. Medina as she will be translating for our families. Tonight, we welcome our School Board of Trustees student representative, Edgar Tirado. Edgar is currently a senior at East Chicago Central High School. Edgar has a 3.962 GPA. He is enrolled in 3 dual credit classes and currently attends Purdue Northwest twice a week for in-person classes. His post-secondary plans are to attend a major university and major in corporate law. Welcome, Edgar. October is National School Principals Month, and we're taking the month of October to recognize our 7 School City of East Chicago school leaders who work tirelessly every day for the benefit of East Chicago students. We would like to ask all of our principals to please stand. Thank you. Please make sure you do something special for these school leaders. Last month, it was reported that the student enrollment in SCEC's English Learners Program was 1,062 students. 1,062 is the number of students who speak a language other than English. The number of students who receive services through the English Learners Program is 755. We are in the process of transforming the Office of Human Resources. We have hired a new Director of Human Resources, and during this transition, if there are any staff or community members who would like to address concerns with staffing and specifically the personnel report, they should be directed to the superintendent or his designee, which is Dr. Stacy McJunkins. Please make an appointment to speak with them or speak with me at your convenience. As part of my goal to increase enrollment and to make SCEC a school of choice for East Chicago, every family will receive one of these new yard signs to proudly display in your home and to promote the School City of East Chicago in the community. These are produced with our new printing machines, and they are created by our students who work in the print shop under Mr. Jeremy Torres in our brand new apprenticeship program. We look forward to seeing these decorating the lawns of the school city. Fall sports is concluding. The remaining game is the football sectional playoffs, which will be held this Friday, October 25th. We will be hosting Hanover Central. The cost is $10 for all attendees as the gate is set by IHSAA, so there will be no free or student passes permitted. Winter sports are officially kicking off this week. First practice for girls basketball is Monday, October 21st, followed by girls swimming that will kick off on Monday, October 28th. Boys winter sports will begin in early November. There are winter sports schedules available for our community. Finally, we are trying to grow and develop all of our athletic opportunities that our students have, and that is the rationale behind the addition of 3 new positions in the form of athletic supervisors for elementary, middle, and high school. Our student athletes have been very busy these past few weeks. Student athletes and the Cardinal mascot participated in the Breast Cancer Awareness Walk this past Saturday, October 19th, and student athletes and coaches supported the Chicago Marathon on Sunday, October 13th. We had approximately 15 students and 5 of our coaches volunteer to hand out water and Gatorade at the Chicago Marathon, and we want to thank you to Trustee Gomez for seeking out this opportunity for our Cardinals. I believe we have some of those volunteers present, and if they can come briefly and share their experience at the Chicago Marathon.
Can you hear me? We took the boys soccer team at East Chicago Central, girls soccer team, and the representatives from the cross-country team to the Chicago Marathon on October 13th. It was an unforgettable experience to see professionals running, the women's world record get broken. So I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. And it took all day, but we enjoyed ourselves too, so. Yep. Nijon, do you want to say something?
Hello, I'm Angelica Najoni Romero. I am a student in Central High School. The experience was amazing, and it really taught me what it means to have sportsmanship and to be motivated. And I'm so glad I had the opportunity, and I thank you guys for giving me the opportunity, and my coaches. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
All of the students and participants, coaches as well, are receiving certificates of recognition for volunteering from the school city on behalf of the School Board of Trustees. These students got up early to catch a 4:45 a.m. bus to go to Pilsen. So we want to recognize their effort as well as them representing the school city of East Chicago. Let's give them another hand. Mr. President, that concludes my report.
All right, thank you. Next, we have our Chief Financial Officer report, Ms. Simmons.
Good evening. I'd like to report that we are currently in teacher negotiation. We are closer to the end, and we're looking to have a settlement within the next couple days, correct, Ms. Helen? Also, I am at the end of budget season, so tonight, as you can see on the agenda, I have the 4 budget items that need to be approved by the board to move forward and close out the budget. This has been a little bit of a trying different season this year, trying to make sure that everything is going to fall in place for all the student activities of the upcoming year. And that is the end of the finance report today.
Thank you. Next, we have our school report. So we have Mr. Van Blyman to give us a report on his school, Block Middle School.
Good evening again. My name is Matt Van Blyman. I'm the principal here at Block. I'm here tonight with my vice principal, Ms. Hildenbrand, as well as some other staff members, my instructional coach, counselors hiding back here. So thank you guys for coming out tonight and all the hard work that you do here. We'll start with enrollment. School-wide, we're sitting at 434 students. Of those students, as mentioned earlier, our EL population is growing across the district. The ones we monitor, we're at about 108, which makes up roughly 25% of our student population. Total EL students, we have 148, special education, 76, and duly identified as an English language learner and special education student, 21 in total. This is some data from our beginning of the year NWA administration. This is achievement in both math and reading. Yep, there's a little bit too much red there. We are trying to decrease that and increase the green and blues. So far, we are making some okay gains, and we hope to continue those improvements as the school year goes on. This is pulled from the same data projections for the iLearn assessment at the end of the year. It's pretty similar to the actual results that we got at the end of the last school year. With math, again, a little bit too much red, but we're trying to push more into the green, blue, and yellow. ELA, we're sitting about 20% proficiency at the end of last year, which is currently reflected in our beginning of the year data as well. Our school goals for this school year, Our first one is to increase our iLearn proficiency rate by 10% in both math and ELA, which is in line with our superintendent's goal this year. Our second goal is around teacher support and growth. 70% of our teachers will score effective or highly effective in their evaluation growth data, which would be a 10% increase from last school year. And our final goal is around family engagement. To my understanding, we haven't had a parent group here at Block in quite some time. Now that we do have a cell, we are working to get a regular parent group going for the school year, and we have already scheduled our call-out meeting for later this month. What is new at Block this year? We have increased instructional time in both math and ELA classes every single day. We have expanded our EL staff and programming. We have a new ELA adoption for curriculum. We have a new intervention. We have a full-time community engagement liaison this year, which has been great, along with our BFOC, helping out bringing those parents in and supporting a lot of our after-school activities. We're working right now on out-of-school suspension alternatives. We started our tutoring partnership with Sylvan. We are starting our iLearn checkpoints next week. We opted into that pilot this year because next year it's going to be, everybody has to do it anyway, but we're hoping to get some formative data to inform our instruction as the year goes on with that as well as a PBIS reward system to incentivize students throughout the school year. Some of our recent and upcoming events. September 13th, we held an all-school assembly, regarding safe communication with students. We had some of those threat issues going on here in the middle school, but we have put some interventions in place, and those have decreased drastically over the last few weeks. September 26th, we did have Lotteria Night. October 2nd, we held a movie night for families. October 3rd was the Pioneers of Change that Ms. Ayala spoke of earlier. We had roughly 22 community members come in, each take an advisory class in the morning. They did a Q&A session. They read a story about a historical Hispanic figure and told a little bit about themselves. Also on October 3rd, we had the assembly here with Chief Rivera and the county prosecutor to discuss communication among students again, which was very well received. October 10th, Dr. Bournet took time to have a student town hall here. It was great to hear all the great things that we're doing here at Block coming from the students as well as in the district, and it's also wonderful to hear some of the critical feedback that they gave to school leaders. Last week, we held our Hispanic Heritage Month culminating event where the flag parade was part of that, as well as a mariachi band, prizes, all kinds of fun things. Next week, we are hosting, no, I'm sorry, that's not next week, that is Thursday. We are hosting Mr. Ray Flores here for an assembly to speak with our students as well. He is a pretty well-known figure in the community and is a fight announcer for mixed martial arts, boxing, things like that. I'm sure most of you are familiar with him. And we are also starting our iLearn checkpoints. I'd also like to add in here that on October 1st, we were one of the only school in Lake County that got chosen for a safety review from the IDOE. We were informed of this back in the summer. So the director of security and myself, we met with them for several hours. And we had a great report. They said in 22 years, we had some of the best documentation, protocols, and procedures in place that they've seen. So that's great to hear. And they also provided some good feedback for moving forward into the next school year. I'm just going to show off some of the great stuff that we've done here recently. These are some pictures of Lotteria Night. We held raffles. There was prizes for the winners. We had a lot of families come out and support. It was really great to see. Here's a few pics from our Hispanic Heritage Night culminating event from last week. A couple of familiar faces in there. But again, you could see the mariachi band. We had a great turnout there too. It was probably our best turnout of the year so far. Did I miss a slide? All right, we're having tech issues. There we go.
I think it was extracurricular activities.
Yeah. Did I skip over that? There it is. All right, we're keeping our kids busy after school. Volleyball just wrapped up last week. We had a winning season, 6-2. We were able to get some football in this year, so I really want to shout out our coaches. Dr. Bournet said that we were looking for our athletic supervisor here. We haven't had that yet, so shout out to the coaches for scheduling their games, scheduling their events. Really, it was great to get the kids out there moving. So football, we squeezed out a win last week, which was great against Theo Bowman. Our cross-country team, we had a lot of students place very high, and one student was a back-to-back invitational champion, so we want to make sure we celebrate her. We got student government started, our robotics and STEM team started, photo and video club, student newspaper, choir, band, tutoring, and basketball started this week as well. All right, now we'll get to the cool stuff. Here we go. Pioneers of Change, a couple pictures here. Like I said, we had 22 community members show up. We had a meet and greet with them in the library with a nice breakfast. They all got certificates of appreciation for participating. And I think everybody got something out of it, our presenters and students as well. Student Town Hall. I think we had about 12 students that were chosen to meet with superintendent. Again, just expressing the great things we do here, as well as some of that critical feedback. Assembly with Chief Rivera, we did 2 sessions, one for each grade level. Packed house, very well received. Volleyball, so Coach Moore, I want to shout her out. She had a great season this year with her girls. We wrapped up last week with a winning season of 6-2. Yeah, you can do that, yes, thank you. Last but not least, our robotics team. I do want to shout out the coach, Ms. Johnson. She put this team together last year. She put this team together like last minute last year, and they went on to be very successful. I can let her tell a little bit more of the story, as well as a couple of our students to wrap up our presentation for the school. So come on up, guys.
Good evening, school board members, Dr. Bournet, family and friends. I'm like really excited about our team because I am so proud of our students. I started this team last minute last year. I was determined to get a robotics STEM team going. That's going to be the future coming. About 44% of the workers' core skills are expected to change in the next 5 years. That's going to be in STEM and robotics. Coming from corporate America, I realized the importance of introducing our students to science, technology, engineering, math, robotics, and AI. These are the skills that will be critical for any career in the future. So what do? It's not just about programming or building a robot. We ignite creativity, cultivate collaboration, develop strong communication skills, nurture critical thinking, fuel curiosity, strengthen cognitive skills, and we also include SEL, social and emotional learning, all while having fun. We are preparing our young people with the skills they need to become productive global citizens with a lifelong love for learning. We invite you to come out to see us in action. We will be participating in the first LEGO League qualifying competition being held at Indiana University Northwest in Gary, Indiana, on November 23rd. Here with me are our captain and co-captain of the team that we call Maniacs, the Block Middle School Robotics Club. Daniel Alonzo and Madison Sanders.
is Daniel Alonso. I am the captain of Mech Maniacs. This is my second year participating. I have with me Mech Maniac Junior and Senior. We will be competing with Mech Maniac Junior for the qualifying round competition at IUN. When I first came to Block, I was afraid of middle school and especially computer science. Last year, I was able to do all the coding for Maniac Senior. I am coding Maniac Junior to accomplish the missions and training others to learn to code. I have gone from being afraid of computer science and robotics to pursuing a career in engineering.
Dr. B and school board members. My name is Madison Sanders, and I am the co-captain of Mech Maniacs, the robotics club at Block Middle School. Being a part of the robotics team has allowed me to enhance my creative thinking, problem solving, and critical thinking skills. The foundation of our club is built on teamwork, respect, innovation, problem solving, and critical thinking. We will be participating in the qualifying round competition on November 23rd at IUN. I am learning valuable skills that I believe will follow me throughout my educational journey.
Dr. Bernay, I know you have a lot of things on your desk, but we want to give you something to remember us by. And this is a robot. This is one of the robots that the children built. So we want to present this to you. Also, our children, we don't just do robots. They're learning how to fly drones. They are using 3D printers to print items. This is also, this is just a sample of some of the things that we're going to be creating this year.
Thank you, Mech Maniacs. These guys are awesome, let me tell you. The things they're doing over here is incredible. I'm sure I'm well over my time, and I'm very sorry. But we can go on and on. We got a great team here at Block. I'm just lucky to be a part of it, really. We got good people here doing great things for kids, and we're getting things like this, future engineers. So thank you for your time. A couple minutes for questions, if you got any, but.
Yes, I have a question. I want to ask you, in your program here, what is the OSS alternative character positive reinforcement?
So OSS is an out-of-school suspension. So what, one of the positions that was posted fairly recently, we've been interviewing and hopefully securing somebody for, is for, I think it's looked at as an in-school suspension, but we're calling it in-school solutions. So we're looking to get to hire a certified teacher in that room to support those students, not only with academics, but wraparound services as well. So that'll include social work, mentoring, and just different services for those students. This is a way to keep them in school, keep them learning, and developing some of their other skills.
So this has not started just yet?
This has not started yet, no.
None of this, that's new? Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right,
All
thank
right,
you
well,
for your
thank-
time.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, moving along with the agenda, we have approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve this evening's agenda?
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Motion made by Trustee Rodriguez, second by Trustee Gomez. Is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any?
I oppose. I oppose.
Okay, and any abstentions? All right, motion passes. Next, we have our consent agenda. I'm sorry, is there any comments from the audience on this evening's consent agenda? Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve this evening's consent agenda.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
A motion made by Trustee Rodriguez, second made by Trustee Gomez. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. President.
Yes.
I have some discussion about the consent agenda. Item 4.03, personnel report.
5 point,
Yeah,
yes.
5.03. I want to make this on the record, Diane Bigham, make it a matter of record that it was voted on before you got on the board, Mr. Ortega, that the personnel report would not be included in this consent agenda. And it was not, at our last school board meeting. At our last school board meeting, is it on? I'm sorry. Okay. At our last school board meeting, this was a line item by itself. And now I see now that it is in the consent agenda. Again, when it was already voted upon for, that this was not to happen here. What's been going on with this personnel report, there's been a lot of, I don't know if there are errors or a lot of concerns, I'm going to say, because this is one reason that it was not supposed to be in the consent, because it ties up all the other items in here that needs to be voted on. So when you do it like this, then we cannot vote, we cannot have our vote separate. So that's my concern right now. But it was already voted on for this not to be in the consent agenda.
Mr. President, my
Yes.
concern with that also is, we did speak about putting the personnel report on a separate line, because if the consent agenda, if the personnel report is in line with the consent agenda, and the personnel report, there's some situations or problems, that means that the payroll, the new hirees, and all of that would be stagnated, which means that will stop people from getting their jobs or starting their jobs on time. We've asked you time and time again to leave it alone. Let it have its own personal line. And this is the last time, I'm telling the public, this is the last time, hopefully, we won't have to discuss this again. Its personnel report should be on its separate line, all by itself on the agenda, not together with the consent agenda, because it holds up jobs. If you are a person and you apply for a position and the consent agenda and with the personnel report is attached and the consent agenda is not passed, what happens? That person does not get hired.
Right.
Makes common sense to me. So hopefully, after today, we won't have this problem again.
Okay. Is there any other, I'm sorry. Is there any other?
I have one more, with this personnel report, my concern, which it was already discussed with the board. I don't have to discuss it out in the audience here, but anyway, my concern is still the number 3 on the docket here, and then also oh boy, bear with me 1 minute here. This individual here is, well, anyway, it's my concern, it's number 3. Thank you.
If there's no more discussion, we'll go ahead and call for a roll call vote, or sorry, for a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Oppose.
Oppose.
Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we have new business. So the first one, we have 6.01, approval of the 2024-2025 budget. Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of the 2024-2025 budget? Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve 6.01.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve item 6.01.
Second.
Motion made by Trustee Rodriguez, second by Trustee Gomez. Is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we have 6.02, the approval of the bus disposal plan. Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of 6.02? Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve 6.02.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve 6.02.
Second.
A motion made by Trustee Rodriguez, second made by Trustee Gomez. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we have 6.03, the approval of the capital improvement plan. Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of 6.03? Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve 6.03.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve 6.03.
Second.
Motion made by Trustee Rodriguez, second by Trustee Gomez. Is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we have 6.04, the approval of the resolution transfer. Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of 6.04? Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve 6.04.
Motion to approve 6.04.
Second.
Motion made by Trustee Smith, second by Trustee Gomez. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President, can we have a little overview of the approval of the transfer resolution?
Go
Just
ahead.
brief.
Is that a Leela, Ms. Simmons?
Yes, so this is the 15% that the federal, I'm sorry, not the federal, the state government allows us to make the transfer from the operation, from the education fund to the operation fund. Due to the fact in 2019, they combined 4 accounts into one, and that was including with the bus fund, the capital project fund, and the education fund. So the state gives us the 15% to actually move over from the education fund, which is the tuition basic grant, over into the operation fund.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Seeing no other discussion, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we have 6.05, approval of the DocuSign renewal. Are there any comments from the audience on the approval of 6.05? Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve the DocuSign renewal.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve item 6.09,
6.05?
or 05, I'm sorry.
Second.
Motion made by Trustee Rodriguez, second by Trustee Gomez. Is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we have 6.06, the approval of the disposal of special education equipment / technology. Is there any comments from the audience on 6.06? Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve the disposal of the special education equipment / technology.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Trustee Gibson King, second by Trustee Rodriguez. Is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we have the approval to accept the dual language grant. Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of 6.07? Seeing and hearing none, I am looking for a motion to approve. To accept the dual language grant.
Motion to approve dual language grant. Item number 607.
Motion made by trustee Smith, second by trustee Gomez. Is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we have 6.08, the approval of priority 911 dispatch, Stephen Conover. Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of priority 911 dispatch? Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve 6.08, the approval of the priority 911 dispatch, Stephen Conover.
Motion to approve item 6.08.
Second.
Motion made by trustee Smith, second made by trustee Rodriguez. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President, can I have an overview of this one as well?
Yes. You or? Okay, thank you.
911 Priority Dispatch is a training program that we're going to give one of our in-house staff members. It will, over the long run, save the expense we've done doing outsourcing it. So we will train one of our staff members, and it trains them to, our students, to be a 911 dispatcher.
Is there any other discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we have 6.09, the approval of your money line quote and agreement. Is there any comments from the audience on 6.09? Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve the your money line quote and agreement.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve item 6.09.
Motion made by trustee Rodriguez.
Second.
Second made by trustee Smith. Is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we have 6.10, the approval of the top 20 agreement, 6.10, the approval of the top 20 amendment. Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of the top 20 amendment? Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve 6.10.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve 610.
Second.
A motion made by trustee Rodriguez, second made by trustee Rodriguez.
Gomez.
Okay, motion made by trustee Gomez, second by trustee Rodriguez. Is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we can go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we have 6.11, the approval of the SEL alternatives training. Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of the SEL alternatives training? All right. Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve the SEL alternatives training.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion made by trustee
Second.
Gibson King, second made by trustee Gomez. Is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, I will go ahead and call for a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we have the approval of the elementary sports supervisor position. Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of the elementary sports supervisor position? All right, seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve the elementary sports supervisor position.
Motion to approve
Second.
6.12, approval of elementary sports supervisor position.
Motion made by trustee Smith, second made by trustee Rodriguez. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes.
this is just for a posting of the position, correct?
This is just to post the position, correct?
Yep. Thank you.
If there is no other discussion, I will go ahead and call for a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we have 6.13, the approval of the middle school sports supervisor position. Is there any comments from the audience on 6.13? Seeing and hearing none, I am going to look for a motion to approve the middle school sports supervisor position.
Motion to approve 6.13, approval of middle school sports supervisor position.
Second.
A motion made by trustee Smith, the second made by trustee Gibson King. Is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we have the approval of the high school sports supervisor position. Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of the high school sports supervisor position? Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve the high school sports supervisor position.
Mr. President, move to approve.
Move to approve 6.14?
The high school, yes, the high school.
All right. Motion made by trustee Gomez,
I'll second that motion.
second made by trustee Rodriguez. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes.
just following these litany of positions that we're posting, these are all hourly rates, correct?
I do not, Dr.
I'm
Bourne.
sorry, where did we end up? Did we end up at hourly rates or a set salary for this position?
It's a stipend.
There was, it says part, okay, thank you.
All right. Is there any other discussion at this time? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we have the approval of the fitness center coordinator and strength coach. Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of the fitness center coordinator and strength coach? Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve the fitness center coordinator and strength coach.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve
Second.
6.15.
A motion made by trustee Rodriguez, second made by trustee Gomez. Is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next, we have 6.16, the approval of Center of Workforce Innovation, Old Kirigash. Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of Center of Workforce Innovation, Old Kirigash? Seeing and hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve the Center of Workforce Innovation at Old Kirigash.
Motion to approve.
Motion made by trustee Smith.
Second.
Second made by trustee Gomez. Is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. And next, we have 6.17, the approval of the Ivy Tech Work Study Agreement. Is there any comments from the audience on the approval of the Ivy Tech Work Study Agreement? Seeing and hearing none, I am looking for a motion to approve the Ivy Tech Work Study Agreement.
Mr. President, make a motion to approve.
Second that motion.
Motion made by trustee Gomez, second made by trustee Rodriguez. Is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we will go ahead with a voice vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. All right. All right, next on our agenda is public forum.
If you could, please step to the podium. If you signed up to speak tonight, your comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Please state your name and your address. Please be respectful of the audience, the board members, and the staff that's present, and please refrain from discussing any personnel matters. Thank you.
Yes,
Kim Morris, Reverend Kim Morris.
To the community and to the board, Superintendent Burnett. I come before you not as a School City of East Chicago employee, but as a citizen of East Chicago, First District. 3 things that my mom taught me, and God rest her soul. Do not allow people to use you. Do not allow people to invite you to their table and you're not invited, and don't go where you're not invited. And most of all, my grandmother, rest her soul, taught me treat people the way they want to be, that you want to be treated, and I think I've done that. I am here today because I am disappointed in the outcome of my position. I know it's not supposed to talk about personnel issues, but facts are facts. I don't need to be defined by any board member or anybody in this community who I am, because God made me who I am. And I know who I am, and I'm proud to be who I am. So with that being said, Superintendent Burnett, watch and pray. Read Psalms. Some of you need to read Psalms 23:5 and 27:2. There will come a time that these things will come to pass.
Okay, Ms. Linda Randolph.
Linda Randolph, 4437 Alder Street. First of all, I just want to publicly say to the principals, congratulations on this wonderful time that's celebrating you. I have had the blessed experience of working with all of you. I know you're hard workers, and I want you to be encouraged. When you do the right things, positive things will come your way. So just keep persevering and be encouraged. And I'd like to encourage the board to make sure that we get these important positions filled. We're a district that's behind, whether you measure us by growth or proficiency. And to move forward, we have to have a good, strong team. So I'm asking you guys to trust Dr. Burnett, trust Dr. McJunkin, and the team to bring in people that will help us move forward. And again, I want to thank all the schools for all that you did in celebrating the Hispanic Heritage Month. Thank you.
Alice Foster.
Good evening, Alice Foster, 4938 Euclid Avenue. I would like to say to my principal, we rock. And I would like to present a letter to the board, and Dr. Burnett, can I come up to present my letter?
Yes.
Thank you kindly. Okay, this is Ms. Charmaine and Ms. Barnes. These are my gurus.
Oh, boy. Okay. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay, Princella Eskews. Good evening.
Everybody. I live at 2705 East Guadalupe Circle in East Chicago. To the superintendent and the school board trustees, on behalf of the HRB, we would like to thank you for approving the MOU with Sylvan Learning at the last school board meeting at Harrington Elementary. Several of us was in attendance because of the lengthy meeting we had to leave and did not get a chance to comment on 6.13. It was a long time coming, and we thank you. We hope that the next meetings will be not as long, and we'll be able to stay till the end. Thank you from the members, Benita White Arnold, Princella Askew, Annie Brooks, Fannie Bishop, Patty Gibson King, Charlene Mahone, Janice Robinson, Madeline Spann. Thank you. Have a blessed night.
Thank you. Stacy Winfield.
Good evening, Stacy Winfield, 4106 Dearborn Street. I'd just like to commend the students of the boys' basketball team and the top 22. This past Saturday, I had my 5th annual breast cancer awareness walk, and inviting the students out, which every time I have an event, I make sure the students are involved. It shows how we bridge the gap between our youth and their elders. And they did it as the walkers were prepared to walk. The only thing that I had an issue with is that I tried to invite the school city teachers and staff to come and attend. I had a flyer. And my motto is, together we can make a difference. When you have the city government and the school city government, yes, they're two different entities, but we're supposed to work together on behalf of the community, our children, and all. I was disappointed because I was turned down to get my flyers out into the school city. Together, we have to make a difference. It starts with us to show our students how we all can come together. But once again, I'd like to thank you, Mr. Gordon, Debbie Williams, for having the students there, Coach and Abe. Thank you, because I will continue to make that difference with you all and the students in the city of East Chicago. Thank you.
Thank you. Kelly Williams.
Good evening, Pastor Kelly Williams, 4718 Magoon Avenue, East Chicago, Indiana. I want to get an opportunity to come and share because in some previous board meetings, it was expressed that this board wanted to be, the word I believe I heard was transparent. You ask of the community to be involved. You ask of the community to be engaged. Just a couple of things that I'd like to just bring forth that in the future may make your school board meetings a little more informative for your community. You have to understand that some of the people, parents that you will want to be here and community members, when you're doing your roll call, there's no subheading. It kind of just highlights what it is that you're voting on, doing the voice vote on, what it entails. Just to be informative so people have an understanding, oh, okay, this is what they're approving. Now, having said that, I believe we're also setting a dangerous precedent. A couple of things. Number one is, I think that at the forefront, this is a school city. Our focus should not be simply on recreation, should be on education. And the same tenacity that I saw tonight, that we can approve some 10 to 15 positions for recreation, we need to have that same tenacity when it talks about the people that are going to be deemed with the responsibility to educate our kids. I want to see that same energy when it comes to our educators, making sure that they're compensated and making sure that they're taken care of. Let's get this contract done so that we can start creating a culture here in East Chicago that we believe in education just as much. Pick up the ball, but also pick up the books. So the final dangerous precedent I believe that we're setting, circulating in our community is a postcard with an elected official, with also our school superintendent on the back of soliciting campaign material. My problem with this is this. I received an email that said I could not wear any campaign material to any school events. I didn't know. I was ignorant of it. And to that, I apologize. It will not happen again. But then when in turn, I'm slapped in the face in a race that I'm involved in, and it deems within the community that there is
3 minutes are up.
Our superintendent is in support of this candidate. It is unfair. And that's all I wanted to say.
Helen Steinbeck. I'm good, thank you. Okay. That concludes.
All right, next we have our trustee remarks, and we will begin with our newest trustee. Are you ready, Edwin? All right, we will begin with our newest trustee, Edwin Tirado. Oh, I'm sorry, Edgar. My apologies.
It's on? Okay. So, to start this off, it is great to be here to speak in behalf of all the students in the district. I am here to try my best and trying to make an experience that is worth it for our students. And overall, I'm just here to help these students enjoy their time in this district.
Thank you very much. Next, we'll go with Trustee Smith.
First, I'd like to say congratulations to the principals for your hard work. I know it's been trying. Thank you for your endurance. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your overtime. God bless you. Your heart is truly in what you believe in, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. What I really want to say tonight is not only we have to work together in our community, we have to work together, whether it's a social event, whether it's an event that the school is giving or a different district is giving. And our children are invited to participate. There should be no argument about that. However, they have to have community services. And the only way they're going to get community services is the community invite them in. So I'm just letting you know, thank you for inviting our students to help with their breast cancer walk. Second thing I want to discuss about, the board approved on September the 25th, 2024, claim docket for Finch and Associate for LED mobile truck for the Mexican Day Parade. The LED mobile truck was to showcase our school district and our school district community activities. The community selected, there was a committee that selected photos for the digital program. This was not what was presented at the parade. Instead, it was altered with the photo of a current trustee for possible campaign purposes. This conduct of, and I have proof, this conduct of a trustee member displayed mistrust, dishonesty, and malfeasance. Our community was upset. This behavior is unacceptable and should not be tolerated by any board member and not by our community. This board has not, I will say once again, this board, well, I can say me, this board has not endorsed any campaign person for this particular election. That's not what we do. We are supposed to be about our children. Don't use our children as a slate to say that this is your campaign slogan. If you're gonna be about the kids, show it. As my mother used to say, if you're gonna walk the walk, walk it. Don't just do it during campaign time. Do it throughout the whole year. I was very, very upset when I got that photo. It was altered And I know it was altered, and I don't want to say anything else, but I hope that it doesn't happen again, because it was just disrespectful, not only to us, but it was humiliating to our community that we would stoop that low to do something like that. Thank you.
Trustee Rodriguez.
No comment at this time, Mr. President. Thank you.
Trustee Gibson King.
Yes, thank you. I want to speak about the last school board meeting that we did implement and pass our Silver Learning Program for our children of East Chicago, Indiana, for a change here. We as a board have always approved Silver Learning Center for St. Stan's, St. Casimir. And now we have finally approved it for our school district, for our children. Now the count, if you will, Mr. Rodriguez, of students that have been enrolled in this program and has started October the 1st. Okay, and today is October the 22nd. The amount of students, okay.
Students in Sylvan.
Yeah. The amount of students that we have at Block Junior High School is 16 students. At Lincoln School, there are 38 students. We have at McKinley 33 students. We have at Harrison 32 students, and at Washington 37 students. So we are on task of the students that the Silver Learning instructor said that we will tutor starting as of right now. And I also would like to thank those ones that are out in our community that have been a part of this way before any of this. This is something that has been advocated in our community. And I do want to thank Mrs. Princella Askews, who is our library board, on our library board here. Thank you for reading the letter. I also want to thank Mrs. Christine Gutierrez. She is our elementary coordinator here. Are you here, Christine? Thank you. And then, and also, I would like to expound on the other program that we've had for our parents, for our children to get this $1,000 for those ones that have, not for their pocket, but for the kids' education. Okay, so that they can get some additional tutoring for their children. If you don't mind, Mr. President, can Ms. Christine say a little bit about that, because they've extended the date for the deadline for this. Christine, I'm sorry. The date for this program. And I want to thank you, Dr. Bonet, as well, and those board members that did vote for this program, for Silverans to come in to tutor our children.
So the second program she's talking about is Indiana Learns. Indiana is sponsoring our students who have scored below proficiency on iLearn. They're offering each family that registers with them a $1,000 voucher that they can use for tutoring services. So our goal right now with School City is to get all our families, we have about 600 students in ELA and math that qualify for it. Last year they extended and they actually doubled the funding. So we're hoping that by getting everybody signed up, we can actually do some services at school, and they also have bilingual tutoring for our students. I am working with Dr. Yanders to make sure that the middle school does not miss this opportunity, because they have a number of students that qualify also. The deadline for that is December 20th. So Indiana Learns will be sending all of their representatives to our parent-teacher conferences on November 5th. And hopefully we can get everybody to sign up and receive this $1,000 stipend for their family and their students.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, board. Thank you, Dr. Bonet. Thank you, community.
Trustee Gomez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just wanted to make comments. I've been at a couple of the breast cancer walks this month, one with Councilwoman Winfield and the other with Debbie Bolanos. Both of them are beautiful days and a beautiful turnout in the crowd supporting those who are affected by breast cancer. I want to congratulate both of them on an outstanding event in both cases. Also, I want to give kudos to Connie Jones, a former teacher, who started this Hispanic Heritage slideshow that's been going on now well past the termination of Hispanic Heritage Month. I believe we're now to 33 people who are being honored, who have been honored, and more to come. Speaking of the honor, I also want to thank Veronica Ayala, a teacher here at Block, Principal Van Vlyman, another teacher, Ray Flores Sr., and Denzel Smith for inviting me to come to the school and read to our students and the pioneers and be nominated as a pioneer of change. I really appreciate that. Finally, I wanted to again thank the kids who participated in the Chicago Marathon. As Dr. Bournet said, the kids woke up at, or were actually on the bus at 4:45 in the morning, and they probably didn't get back until 5 o'clock that evening, putting in a lot of hours participating in the Chicago Marathon. I also invited them to participate in the Dia de los Muertos 5K, which is held in the same neighborhood, Pilsen up in Chicago. This is a great experience for the kids, exposure to other communities and also other people and their way of life. It was really interesting to watch the kids react to the wheelchair participants in the Chicago Marathon. We had runners from Kenya stopping by, runners from England and other countries, Mexico. There was just a lot of people coming by our booth to pick up water, but it was nice to see the interchange between our students and those runners. And finally, I just wanted to make a comment again that Ray Flores Jr. is going to be here on the 24th. He is one of those honorees of the Hispanic Heritage Month, he along with his father, Ray Flores Sr. They've both done a great job in participating and supporting the Chicago community. I want to thank them for their continued support. That concludes my report.
And then I just wanted to say thank you to Principal Van Vlyman and the rest of your staff. I want to say thank you for kind of putting on your presentation and showing us all the great things you are doing here at Block Middle School. I know that I really appreciate it. I know that we really appreciate all the good stories that are coming out of here. I also would like you to send a thank you to the children and the families that came out today to help with our parade of flags. I really appreciated that. That was probably going to be the highlight of my week, so thank you again for that. And then I do want to make just one little final announcement and also a congratulations. So our school board is part of the National School Board Association, and we are also part of the Council of Urban Education. And our own trustee, Trustee Joel Rodriguez, has been named president-elect of the CUBE Conference. So that's the Council of Urban Boards of Education. Yes. Yeah, so I just want to say a huge congratulations to him. This, I think that the thing that I'm most excited for is that it puts the school city of East Chicago on the map. All right, now every time we go to these national conferences, when we hear of schools of CPS, Chicago, Philadelphia, Savannah, Georgia, East Chicago is going to be right up in there in the conversations. So I really do appreciate that, and thank you. And that goes again, thank you for all your hard work with the school city of East Chicago. And that concludes my evening's report. The date and time of our next meeting will be Tuesday, November 19th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Location to be announced. All right. At this time, I will make a motion. Oh. All right, just one more time, just so we can hear it. Parent-teacher conferences are November 5th from 3 to 6, 11 to 6 p.m. All right, November 5th. Tuesday, November 5th. It's on election day? Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, okay, so 11 to 6 on November 5th.
November 5th.
All right. I would like to make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Mr. President, I second that motion.
Second made by Trustee Rodriguez. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes.